Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello and welcome to the Rap Podcast, the place for fans of Welsh regional rugby to join together, discuss last week's game, chat about the important issues, and more importantly, hurl abuse at each other's teams. You can contact the show by email at welshregionalrugbypod@gmail.com. So let's get on with it, shall we? So good evening and welcome to this week's Rap Podcast. As you may or may not guess, and I'm sure one or two of us will mention it as we go along, East Wales had a particularly good weekend last weekend, and I'm fairly sure that the boys will be reminding us in a very calm, controlled and dignified manner as we progress through the evening.
Yeah, 2 minutes each.
Yeah, 2 minutes each. So, good evening, gents. I got Jamie, Reese, and Carwyn with me again this evening. How are we, gents?
Hello.
Very well, Lee. Very well.
See, now, no, you can tell already, because normally when we do the hello and welcome, Reese is very like, yeah, hi, yeah, okay, good, yeah. And this week he's like, yes, this is it, I'm ready. I've got this lined up. I've got the poppers, I got the fireworks, I got the whole lot ready to go. So, before we get into the interesting bits, what's your drinks of the week? What we got going this week, boys? Who's going first on that one?
Go on, I've got a nice glass of red wine here, going down smoothly. Only the one because I'm working tomorrow. But it's very nice, very smooth.
Is it expensive? Is it like
mate, it's from the co-op, mate.
Have you been just hanging around the co-op waiting for Cardiff players all week? Yeah,
to come back.
Hello,
it is French. It's French, I think. I'm not going to get up and have a look. I think it's French. Okay, it's French.
So, Jamie, have you got something that's not in a pink tin this week?
Yes, I got something nice and different this week. I got my favourite ale from my favourite band. It's The Trooper by Iron Maiden. You see that?
Oh,
like that.
Trooper.
They did a beer. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been out for ages. Yeah, Iron Maiden do their own beer called The Trooper. It's very, very nice. This one is a limited edition one. This is the Day of the Dead because it's Halloween coming up in there. So it's
you like
that.
rock,
yeah.
I like that.
I do like my rock and metal, and Iron Maiden are my favourite band. And this is a very, very nice beer. So Iron Maiden, The Trooper, very nice it is too.
Nice, man, nice.
Wow.
I've got home, and I've got home from where I was doing some stuff tonight, and my wife is cooking my tea and has given me not one, not two, but 4 bottles of ale, all different. So I'm either in trouble, and I'm going to find out soon, or I've done something really good, or she wants me to do something, so I'm not sure which at the moment. But one of the one I have to share with you, it's not the one I got. I got a Butty Bach, a Wye Valley Brewery one in the glass by her. But I have to share with you this Thomas Watkins ale that I've got called Blood's Beer. And on the back, instead of saying like how hoppy and stuff like that it is, it said Blodwen, Idris's younger sister, was fair of form and sweet of face. Her first job on leaving school was cockle picking. She proved to be the finest cockle picker in all of Wales. Unfortunately, the rest of the team's productivity would fall to all-time lows whenever Blod went to harvest nature's bounty. I didn't think you would like I was sleeping when I read that. And as you, for the sake of the listeners, it's got a picture of a very happy-looking lady on the front. So that's a Thomas Watkin beer. Yes.
Lovely stuff. Love it.
Mine is a lot more boring than that. However, I will say so this week I'm on a Velinvoil IPA this week, which
like IPA.
is I can describe it as a traditional taste. It's like the beer used to taste when I started drinking with my dad when I was about 12. That's what it smells like. If you've ever woken up in a pub on a Sunday morning and it's that smell, you know, the one where you just kind of wake up and you go, how the fuck did I end up here? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But it's and I tweeted it out earlier and Velinvoil tweeted me back. So, you know, I play my cards right there. I might have another couple next week.
Might get a crate coming, you never know.
Hey, why didn't you get to sponsor the pod? Have a word with them, they can sponsor our pod.
Yeah,
I think I've got to start low. So you've got to start low and then build up. And then at some point, somebody will sponsor us all to do like beer of the week, and we can all just get rat-assed at the start. And then let's just carry on. We won't care what we're talking about then. We just got free beer. So
just to put it out, and I think I speak for all of us when we say we will accept free things from different.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
This is not the BBC.
Yeah. We will happily try free products. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll review them on the pod.
On that note about how we will happily review things. So we had an email this week from a guy called David. Oh, I'm assuming as well. So I'm assuming he didn't say where he's from or anything. And I'll paraphrase this, right? Because I thought it was a bit of a fan mail to start with, which I thought, great, this is lovely. So it was, love the pod, listen to them all, think it's great. And then a bit more other stuff. And then he finished off by saying, my only critical point is the amount of laughing on the show. Please stop laughing so much on the show. So my reply to David is plain and simple. It's fuck off, Dave. Because Jesus Christ, man, we're having a laugh. That's what we're here for. Why would you try to stop people having a laugh on a pod? I haven't actually replied to him to say fuck off, but I just thought I'd do it
please
now.
Don't. Don't accept the listeners.
Well, you'll know when he listens to this, won't he?
10 listeners.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought of all the things to complain about, some people are laughing too much. So no.
He's talking about you, you know.
Well, you better behave.
I'll put myself on mute when I start laughing. That's what I'll do.
I was kicked off Spotify. Christ's sake.
I think people got to catch up with the fact that we're like four men who've worked out a way of having a beer talking about rugby, and otherwise go like, yeah, okay, you're doing a podcast. That's cool.
You're loving that.
You crack on.
They go to work the next morning, they go, oh, bless him, he did his podcast again last night and he was ever so happy. Love him. He's got an interest now.
Yeah, he's got a hobby.
Absolutely.
He's got a hobby.
Absolutely.
So let's crack on with some, because we've got important stuff to talk about at the end. So we'll talk about the rugby stuff, and then we'll talk about Welsh squad, and more importantly, the Ginger 15.
Before we just go into the regions and the Wales men, first I just want to say good luck to the Welsh women team playing the Black Ferns this weekend in the quarterfinals.
Yes,
I know we're the lowest ranked team, but they've done well. They've only become professional this year, and good luck to them. I really wish them all the best out there.
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose at all, and they come back with their heads held high.
Already,
definitely. Yeah.
It's a shame.
Big up to the women out there.
It's a shame, isn't it, that the timing of it, like the matches aren't later in the night over there, or a bit bit more kind of viewable times over here. If you know,
well, I think they're playing 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30 Saturday morning. So this one is watchable.
So bad. Yeah, that is watchable.
So that's a good time. Yeah,
Reese will be up there now with his better half there. He'll be up 7:30 with the girls watching, I'm sure.
Well, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your wife being a Kiwi and all that.
Oh, yeah. How's that going to go down, mate?
This is how me and my wife, for years, we watched Wales v Wales once together, like a year after we first started going out together. And it was the match in 2004, was it? Where we lost by a point. Do you remember Travis was like smashing McCall off the ball and stuff like that? And we argued intensely for the whole game. So every game after that, we've been to most, because it's a special game for our family, we've gone to majority of them with different group of friends in different parts of the stadium and met afterwards, and that seems to work better. And we're still married. So you gotta...
Well, I'll quickly share with you when I was dating my wife. So we were living in London at the time, and Wales are playing home games in Wembley. So we went to watch Wales All Blacks, and she wasn't into rugby at all. She didn't like it at all. And we were about 3 or 4 rows back. So we get there, and I had nobody else to go with. So it was like, right, well, you come in, just sit there, smile for an hour, lovely jubbly. And then lining up for kickoff, and Jonah Lomu is about 20 yards in front of us. And she's like, "Ooh, who's he?" That's that Jonah Lomu bloke that they keep talking about. And she's like, "He's got lovely legs, hasn't he?" And I'm like, you can't say they got lovely legs, lovely bum. And I'm like, that's not what you say at a rugby match, love. And his arms as well, he's got beautiful skin, hasn't he? And she spent the whole game looking at Jonah Lomu's legs and arms and going, "Oh, hasn't he got wonderful skin?" And that was the last time the wife came.
It made you feel great there, didn't it?
Yeah. Where's Jonah Lomu gone? He's the one scoring a try over there, love. So yeah. So anyway, on to games from the weekend. Should we start at the bottom and work our way upwards, and then kind of do it that way? Because let's get what I'm saying is, let's get the Scarlets out the way first of all.
Tear that plaster off, Lee. Tear that plaster off.
Oh, fucking hell, man. It was... Actually, after the first half, I thought, okay, we got this. Because we looked pretty much in control in that first half. There was that first one. Have you seen the replay of that first try? Fuck, I didn't touch the ball down.
I didn't touch the ball down, did he?
No.
He knocked it on, didn't it? He looked like he knocked the ball on.
He goes to dive on it, it bounces up, it comes off his hand, it goes forward, and you're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I didn't see it at the time. You just accepted it that was going to be a try. And I think the night kind of went downhill from there, to be honest, because the second half, oh, my God. If I'd have had a cat, I'd have kicked it up the arse so many times. It was just horrendous in that second half because... I don't know, we just lost all sort of shape. We were trying to throw offloads and they were going forward. We couldn't catch a ball. We couldn't tackle. It was, I felt for you, Jamie. I was sitting there and I was going, this is what it's like to be a Dragon supporter for the last 12 months.
You're learning now.
That's like a man falling over after a killer blow, still swinging like that.
Scarlets fans were saying on Twitter, "Oh, our season's done, our season's finished." I'm like, yeah. Welcome to the world of a Dragons fan. That's what it's like. Deal with it.
Dragons fans are like you, lucky to make it past the end of September.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah, I think the bit that annoys me most about it is the reaction to fans. Like we haven't been in this situation for since I've been supporting, and that's been at least 12, 13 years that I've been going to games now, and. We've never been in that situation where it's been quite that bad. But to turn around and start calling for Dwayne Peel's head is just, I think it's just a poor show. I think if anything, when you're in the doldrums like that, and the reality is in the first 4 games we were competitive. We could have easily come away with those with wins in those 4 games with a couple of decisions that have gone our way. And
yeah, but you didn't.
Yeah, all right, smart ass. Yeah, I know that. But The reality is we're not that far away from being all right. So to call for the coach's head just seems a bit kind of not the way we should be doing things. It's a bit of a panic reaction. So what I will say is that fucking pile drive where he picked him up and rammed his head into the floor.
That was awful.
That was red. That should have been.
That was red all day, man.
Yeah. And
Paul Boyle, very lucky man, Paul Boyle. Very lucky man. They said it wasn't a high level of danger, wasn't it? High level of danger. They said it wasn't a high level of danger. Like, hang on, mate, he just shoved his head into the fucking ground. Like, if that's not a high level of danger, I don't know what is. It was absolutely crazy.
I thought he was the Undertaker, like, you know, it was just yeah.
But
a couple of your other red cards were saying, like, well, isn't that very similar to what I did?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but how can you give that as who was offside? Who got given a yellow for offside? Dan Thomas. Dan Thomas had a yellow card for going offside, and this guy had a yellow card to exactly the same punishment for trying to break someone's neck. Yeah. How is that? So, but I was by the end of the game, I'd even lost the will to scold the TMO. My boy was going, come on, Dad, the TMO should have been in there. And at the end of the game, I was just sitting there in the corner going, don't care. It's just.
So do you feel there's like a lack of consistency then for the referee, or is it the referee and TMOs?
It's just TMOs are a bag of shit. It's just that it's consistently poor every week.
It was at the Cardiff game as well. The Stormers were, I feel like I'm able to say this, like they were living offside. I'll come to that later. But just to carry on your point about the poor level of refereeing, it's across the board, I think.
Yeah. And it's when it gets to that, it does feel like every game we're now looking for something in every game. Do you know what I mean? And sure enough, something turns up, and I don't know how you break that. I don't know how you turn that around and you go
again, and you flip it out. You flip it around. It's also about discipline. Again, go to the Ospreys Dragons game. We had Beard sent off for pulling down the ruck. I was sort of sent off here 10 minutes, and it's like that level. You know what you're doing. It's cynical, and good luck 10 minutes. And those 10 minutes for the Ospreys, we had 2 players off. For me, it cost us the game.
To be fair, though, right, going back to officially that Scarlets game, I mean, the Scarlets were on the end of some, a couple of poor decisions, it's fair to say. But also, I do think you've got to recognise that Scarlets really shit the bed in that second half. They were absolutely abysmal. I mean, going back to my favourite phrase, shit the bed. And they did, because look, it was 16-11 down half time. They had the wind on their backs. And I was thinking, they're only a score away now. They needed a good start. They'll be in it. And they just completely imploded in that second half.
Yeah.
And that's really worrying. Like, if I'm a Scarlets fan, I'd be really worried about that. It is.
It was that we were trying to. We in the first half we were quite controlled. Then it was 3, 4, 5 phases. Connacht lived off our scraps and they lived off our mistakes. And then in the second half, we weren't even going 2 or 3 phases, and we were trying to throw fancy passes and this, that, and the other, and just nothing was working. And this is where I think we missed Scott Williams to just go, right, calm this down a second. Let's just go back to doing what we're doing, and that's what's working. Let's just build some phases. And I don't think that John Davis is the right man to do that. Lovely player. He actually had quite a decent game in the first half, and that's probably the first time we've been able to say that this season. But he just didn't. I don't know what it is. It doesn't. When he's on the pitch as captain, we do seem to have this implosion perfection, and when Scott Williams is on the pitch, we just seem to be able to control the game a lot more. And that might just be coincidence or something, but I think with Scott Williams back, we are a different side.
Yeah.
So
I think Foxy's best days are long behind him, though, if we're being honest, aren't we? I mean, he's been a terrific player, great servant to Welsh Rugby, Scarlets and Wales, but I think now we have to accept he's just not the player he was. And that's age, and it catches up with everyone,
Injury and age, that's it,
Yeah.
Well, I'm in the same position. I think I passed my best season last year. I think I might be.
What was that, your dancing season or your rugby season?
Salsa's a bit off now, yeah.
My timing is absolutely on point when it comes to salsa. It's better than it was when I was playing.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see it.
I did think the Scarlets looked nervous, like from that first the kickoff. Like that was what's the boy's name? I got it written down. Niall Murray, the first try, isn't it? Charging down Hardy's box kick sort of thing. And then Hardy looked really shaken after that for a big portion of time, right before he started to get going again a little bit. I just thought as a team, you look really nervous throughout, even though you started to claw it back because you have got quality players. Let's be honest, but yeah, it looked just shaky all the time, sort of thing. And I guess that comes from like losing a few on the bounce, like, and that's not me winding you up. That's the case, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's why this is my appeal now to Scarlet supporters for this Friday. It's going to be our last game for a month, and then at the end of that month, we've got at least 2 games in South Africa. We're all on.
Are you home to Leinster?
Yeah. So we're
at least you won't have far to go to commiserate. Oh, hang on! My bloody iPad's about to die on me. Give me a second.
So my plea to Scarlets fans, my encouragement to Scarlets fans on Friday is to really just get down there and get behind the boys, because we just need to do something as fans. We need to take that responsibility as fans and go, come on, we're going to give it everything for one last go before we have a month off, sort of thing. So,
and also what I would say, if Cardiff can beat the Stormers, anything is possible. So don't give up hope. Nobody thought Cardiff were going to beat the Stormers today. Let's be honest. That was a huge shock.
I didn't.
You didn't.
Literally nobody.
My predictions carry on.
Hey, at least you were given free rein as to who you were allowed to fuck up your prediction for. I wasn't even allowed to predict that the Dragons were going to win last week. I was forbidden.
Still not either.
No, but hang on now. Look, Cardiff beat Leinster last season, and still, what happened? Where were they? Where were Cardiff?
We haven't had a consistent run like this in ages, and an away win at Scarlets. As with 2 poor sides, bashing away at each other that game. To be fair, but we still had an away win, which is like a plus for us. Then we went and beat the Dragons, and then we beat the champions, and we didn't.
That's it. You're building. I think you're building
that last season. We could all. Don't get me wrong. I've been supporting Cardiff long enough to know that this could all go south quickly. However, I'm also a blind optimist. I've been a Welsh rugby fan and Cardiff rugby fan for so many years. As soon as game day comes, I'm like, yep, we can do this.
Winning breeds confidence, and I think Cardiff, like I say, they've got those games on the roll now. They're not missing too many players to the Welsh squad, and they're building. I think they'll do all right. Well, Scarlets and Ospreys seem pretty fucked like, but
to launch into it, I'll leave it to the Scarlets.
No, let's move on to Cardiff and Stormers, because I genuinely thought it was a good game. I thought you were lucky to have a couple of Scarlets boys do the business for you, I'll be honest. But no, I did. I thought it was it was an enjoyable game to watch, just because
it was a great game. And Stormers played their part. Like, people say, "Oh, it was a poor Stormers." They scored 2. We went and scored a try, then they scored 2. Do you mean they worked out that we've got no defence, and every team, like any of your teams that want to play us and just have that driving wall off the line out on 10 yards out from our line or 5 yards out from our line, it's probably, if it don't work, it's going to get you to the line. Do you mean? Because we don't seem to have any defence to that. And against a pack with Kitsoff and the likes of him in it, they were just like driving through us and scored, I think. They scored 3 times from the driving.
I don't know, but they had 4 tries, didn't they?
Yeah, they outscored 4 times to 2.
Yeah.
So that's something to be concerned about. I just want to say that the cap at Cardiff Arms Park was electric. I think there was less people than there was at the Dragons game, but it was absolutely bouncing. I think there was like 6,500 people there.
But they hear the singing.
we were singing like the Welsh national hymns. It was absolutely superb, and we were on the backs of the referees all the time because they just allowed the Stormers to live offside. And thank God, like Rhys Priestland had one of his cool head games where he was able to sort of notice that and recalibrate what he was doing. With his crossfield kicks and stuff like that. Cabango showing his pace. Oh my God! Like, we got a raft of young wings coming through the ranks, haven't we? Like, we got.
He's rapid, isn't he? He's rapid.
Cabango, he's so rapid, and there was nobody there, and that's out of character maybe for the Stormers. But you play what's in front of you, and Cardiff on season for season have not been able to sort of put those chances away before. So it was nice to see that. And what typified the game for me was it was a Stormers attack, and Josh Turnbull ended up on the wing just catching hold. I can't remember the name of the Stormers player. I never do I? But absolutely smashing him. Dylan Lewis went over the ball and grappled it, and we were on the attack again. And they seem to, I'm not casting aspersions, I might be a little bit because I'm one-eyed supporter, but a lot of our best players just started to walk off injured or stuff like that, like Halaholo. That was a massive loss for us, massive. Yeah. And we had
shame that was, wasn't it?
Come on, and then they were targeting our midfield and getting a lot of field position because they were facing two boys basically against an experienced Stormers midfield.
It was a brilliant win, though. I mean, fair play. I really don't want to give credit to Cardiff, but you asked because... No, let's look at the facts, right? Let's look at the facts. You saw all the injuries that Cardiff had, right? They didn't have Josh Adams, didn't have Faletau, didn't have Vidi, didn't have Lilo, Summerhill, Jared Evans, Seb Davids, Liam Williams, etc. And then you looked at the Stormers, and they had Franz Malvern, and they had, what's his face, Dweeber, and the mighty Brock Harris on the bench, kits off. I mean, when you looked at the teams before the game, you thought Cardiff are going to be in trouble, yeah. And I think it was a fantastic win. When you look at the respective strengths of the two lineups, how Cardiff did that. Fair play.
It was a cracking win.
They played for each other. They absolutely played for each other. All the pack, all the backs. They were smashing some of those South Africans off the ball. They were hammering it. But I tell you what, the South Africans are best at the breakdown for that clear out, though. I don't mean about the jacketing. I mean about the clear out. They hit every ruck and maul as if their lives depended on it. It was every time it happened.
Rhys Priestland, who you mentioned earlier, that was a kicking masterclass. I mean, 20 points from the boot. That is how. Remember, I talked about Jared Evans against the Lions. That is how you control a game. Yes. He was absolutely superb, and Jared Evans got a look at that. You got to learn from it because that is how you control them. But another player I was really impressed with yet again, Thomas Young. Huge moment in that match when he turned that held up over the line. Because I'm telling you, if Stormers scored that, I think they probably would have gone on to win it. And it was a fantastic tackle. Thomas Young was a top tackler as well. So
that's the level of effort in our defence at the moment, sort of thing. That has gone through each. That's been the strong scene through each of the three games that we've been successful in, isn't it? We started off with a defence and then gone from there, as opposed to trying to do it the other way round and just attack with Jared Evans all the time and then just crumble in defence.
But Young, he talks about...
I'm still excited,
Dai Young talks about a lack of leaders, so didn't he? Talked about it a couple of weeks ago, we haven't got many leaders in the team. But you have got Josh Turnbull, and that guy, I tell you what, he's got to be one of Cardiff's best ever signings, because that guy, every single season, he's consistent, he's hard working, he does all the dog work, he is fantastic, and yet again, another brilliant, he is a proper crafter. I got so much time for Josh Turnbull. He's
everywhere, continuously being strapped up. Continuously hang on a minute, getting up from things and what have you, and then going and knocking their head off, Jamie,
I would say he's a leader. He's old school, and there's no airs or graces. He gets stuck in. There's the hard graft, and the guys following him.
Every team needs a Josh Turnbull on their side. That's why I think every team needs someone like a Josh Turnbull on their team, a good, solid club pro, and that's what he is. He's fantastic. Yeah, credit where it's due. Well done, Cardiff. I don't say that very often, but.
We are recording that now, James. We are recording the fact that you said, "Well done,
it's
Cardiff."
There for posterity.
You can't get away from it now.
Feel dirty now.
So Cardiff have got,
yeah, absolutely, Ben. I would.
so Cardiff have got Edinburgh at home on Sunday now, aren't they? So that's going to be a really interesting game, just because some Scottish players, Scottish national players are out, Welsh national players are out, and Edinburgh have been playing really, really well up until now. So
that's another South African team, really, isn't it?
No, the Scottish guy. We all know that.
How many South Africans are in that Edinburgh team? There's plenty.
Yeah, but they have been playing really, really well. Some of the breaks from the forwards has been, absolutely cracking. So,
and Darcy Graham's been on fire as well, I think.
Yeah, but then he won't be there, will he?
He won't be there, though. He won't be there.
He won't be there. That's what I mean. See, I think
the
Cardiff squad, the depleted, if you want to call it that, the depleted Cardiff squad will be stronger than the depleted Edinburgh squad. And
usually lose about 7 or 8 players during this time of year, and I think was it only 5 that we've lost at this time? It's not like we haven't been decimated this time. And Jamie pointed out that we've got some strong club boys there. Could have done with Willis Hollow in midfield, so I'm not sure how we're going to plug that gap. But it's going to be a tasty side. But we're 3 on the bounce and we're at home, so I'm scared to call it, because if I say Cardiff win, it's the kiss of death, man.
Well, I tell you what, I think I'm impressed with Mason Grady and Max Llewellyn's centre partnership. I think they could go on to do really good things, not just for club, but for country. I think that they both had great games for Cardiff.
Well, I was quite,
they're certainly the future.
I was quite surprised that Llewellyn wasn't in the squad. I really was. I think he'd been superb for Cardiff so far. And he, like we said last time, he fills that gap that Johnny Williams, that straight line, straight run, 10 meters, give me the ball, I'll go 10 meters, give me the ball again, I'll go another 10. He's very much that kind of player. And when you're up against the likes of New Zealand and Argentina, you need somebody that's going to make sure you go forward consistently. And Tompkins, as a skillful player, I don't know if he's got that crash ball 10 meters in him. Do you know what I mean?
What Llewellyn is bringing as well is he can be that, because he's a lump, isn't he? So he can give that go forward, but he's also quite a gliding runner, and he picks some lovely angles and stuff like that. When a good outside half can just put him into space, sort of thing, he picks some lovely running angles as well. So he's not just your barge into midfield sort of thing. He's got a bit more to his game, and as he develops, I think he's going to, season upon season, where injuries permitting, because he's up until now been quite injury prone, will keep developing and getting better and better.
Well, I think we're going to have to move on to the Dragons Ospreys game, for the simple reason that if we keep talking about Cardiff Stormers, Jamie's cheekbones are going to start getting cramp, because I haven't seen him smile that much in the 4 or 5 weeks that we've been doing it. You just, if the wind changes, your face will stay like that. We'll be able to do a little
smiling about Cardiff.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I want to hear Carwyn's take on it anyway. I want Carwyn to take it away. I want to get a loser's take on the game. So you can take this for the way, Carwyn, if you want.
Right. I was going to say congratulations, we can fuck off. No, but seriously, fair play to the Dragons. They deserved the win in the end. I thought they showed great discipline. They played as a team. They all wanted to get over that line together, and they did. All right, our discipline let us down, but you had 2 yellows in the second half as well, and we could come back. And towards the end, I was thinking, Christ, it's going to be the 3rd draw of the season for us. But we had a Welsh front 7 starting there, and we were getting smash back, Moriarty, Wainwright, and Keddy. I thought they had a superb all-round game. Jack Morgan, I thought for the Ospreys, had a good game. He had some cracking tackles in there, some great jackals. Unlucky for Dowie Lake, great young player, huge future. But in fairness, like you mentioned today in the chat there, James, I think Bradley Roberts, he's been totally deserved as a call-up. I was watching him.
Yeah,
his arrows were top draw. And he was around there, and he's a powerful boy. Like, he's not the biggest, but he's explosive.
He's hard as nails. I know he's small, but he is hard as nails, and he will carry well. He really does carry well.
I think he'll do really well for us. But there were some cracking tries. Rio Dyer, I thought he was fantastic. I thought the Ospreys were looking a bit lost. They were running out of ideas. And again for them, I think it was like a similar for the Scarlets. It was like a bit of panic in there, maybe going, we've drawn a game, we've drawn 2 games, we lost a couple, we have to win. And we came here with a strong team. There was no excuses. We should have put you to bed. And the Dragons outplayed us. They wanted it more. They played really well. And hands up, fair play to them. Well deserved. Good luck, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Do you know the bit that made me laugh was? So I was watching it on the player, the Premier player, and somebody said on the start of that, "How come Rhys Webb isn't in the Welsh squad?" And I just looked off.
Come on.
It's like, well, here we go. But yeah, I thought the Dragons just outcompete. I thought Moriarty, he didn't have anything like amazingly fantastic, but the dog work that he got through was just phenomenal. And the bit I liked was so he caught a kick or something, and he had like a good 10-meter run, and he was like pointing to somebody to stand there like I might pass you, and you're going like,
oh yeah,
no way, on God's sake,
through the middle.
like anybody believes that Ross Moriarty is going to give that ball when he's got a chance to just go out.
There's something wrong with that whole family, honest to God. do you see him line him up as well? Do you know where every club's got the cycle, haven't they? Like, and Ross Moriarty is the club cycle. That run just typified the whole thing, and it typified the whole effort of the Dragons. Like, the pack were just wanted to eat the Ospreys.
Yeah.
So
I think the most important thing to say, though, is, first of all, what a brilliant game of rugby, because Welsh derbies can often be turgid and sterile. We saw that early in the season with Scarlets, Cardiff. It was a fantastic game. Whether you were a Dragons fan, Ospreys or neutral, it was a brilliant game. Yeah, and, when George North scored after 37 seconds, I think it was, I was thinking, Dragons are being Dragonsy again. Here we go. But teams of old would have crumbled. Their heads would have gone, they would have lost it. But what I really liked about this is we kept fighting. Our heads didn't drop, and we kept in the fight. And I'm really pleased how we fronted up and our physicality. And I thought Rowlands and Wainwright looked back to his best down Wainwright, He's been out for a while, and he made some brilliant line outs, and I thought he was superb. Bradley Roberts, again, I've spoken about him so much. I'm so pleased in the Wales team. I thought he was brilliant. And it was just a really, really good performance, and I am shocked at the result. I didn't see that coming. The Ospreys were fully loaded. All they had missing was Keelan Giles. They were missing Myler. They were missing Anscombe. They were fully loaded. They were jam-packed full of internationals. Yeah. And it's just a really big result for us. It's huge. And with Zebra coming up now this weekend, it's
this is my worry
important.
Now.
We back it up. Yeah.
This is my worry now this weekend. We're missing 14 or 13 now to the Wales setup, and we're playing a Connacht team that's probably missing 2 people or 3 to the Irish setup.
And their tails will be up as well, isn't it?
Oh,
an
absolutely,
Australian
winger.
Is he been chosen by Ireland?
Yeah, he's in the Irish team,
Oh, right, okay, that lucky for you, he was great.
But a big moment in that match, Carwyn, a big moment in that match. When we had 2 men sent off, so we were well under the cosh with about 75 minutes. So we had Elliot D sent off, and then we had Sean Lonsdale sent off, and Ospreys were pounding away, they were hammering. We were buckling. You won the penalty. Jack Walsh, who had a really good game, to be fair, he did have a good game, apart from this one moment, and when he missed touch, that was huge. That was massive, because if he finds touch, And I'm convinced Ospreys would have scored with a try different line. Now, you were against 30 men at that point, right? Yeah. I think you probably might have gone on to sneak a win, let alone a draw. So it was absolutely huge. And I saw Ospreys fans after the game saying, oh, we should have gone for the 3 points. We should have put in a corner. It's like, no, it was the right decision because we were down to 13 men. We were well into all you had to do. The decision was fine. It was the execution that was wrong. But and then, of course, Rio Dyer straight after. Yeah, straight after that.
Honestly, he thought he was a fly half, and he's trying to do this little pass over the top. Gee, he's a prop forward, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Ospreys looked more dangerous when they were actually attacking and throwing the ball about instead of when they were like picking a drive in 22, because you were not getting past the defence. Ospreys, you said earlier, they lacked ideas. I never once thought they were going to get over our defence and over the try line. I was quite happy, actually, for the Ospreys to keep picking and driving and kicking the corner because they weren't getting anywhere. But when they started chucking the ball about, they scored then, didn't they, Owen Mark? They took that quick drop goal. Excellent execution of that.
What a drop. That was a hell of a drop goal.
Yeah, but how can you do that and not find bloody touch?
I know. Shocking.
It didn't make sense. Shocking. It didn't make sense, but it was a brilliant finish for it. What a game. I absolutely loved it. Not going to lie.
But you've got to
enjoy it.
You've got to be fair to Walsh because how old is he now?
He was
21?
good.
22.
21, 22. He's still a young player, and you look at him and Costello coming through against each other. Do you know what I mean? And that's going to be, the competition for the Welsh shirt by the next World Cup. That's going to be the competition for that outside half shirt, and that's just going to be fantastic because those two between them have got some real proper class talent,
Proper fly half flair.
Yeah.
And apart from that, ever though, he was very, very good.
Yeah, he was. He was
good. It was just that one really bad error. But I tell you, it was good for the Ospreys as well as George North. I mean, he looked hungry, didn't he? He was excellent.
He did.
Fair play, George North. And you could tell Wales is round the corner, can't you? When he put in a performance like that, But
hopefully his injury isn't too bad and it's just a niggle. And, hopefully he will be set for the Welsh team. Because I'm really looking forward to that Wales All Blacks game.
Well, what was his injury? I didn't see him come off injury.
I think it's slight knee strain, nothing too much so.
Right.
Just watching him, isn't he?
I thought somebody
waxing him.
I thought somebody might
Hughes had a good game.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'll pick up these three. I don't understand. Well, I probably do because of budget restraints, but I think Scarlets could really do with Steph Hughes back in that midfield because, again, going back to Josh Turnbull, he's one of those solid, reliable club pros. He's not going to set the world alight, but you're going to have him every week and he's going to perform. And I actually liked him in the midfield with Jack Nixon. I thought they worked really well. And I'm expecting if Seal Tomlinson does come back from injury against Zebra, they may have to put him out on the wing because he can't cover wing. I would actually keep Dixon and Steph Hughes in midfield because I liked how they played together. I also liked Sam Davis at fullback as well. That's something I need to think about perhaps. I know they interchanged a few times with hand-to-hand, but I quite like the idea of both hand-to-hand and Sam having that sort of left and right kicking option,
Do you think Rio Dyer will be in the starting team a week Saturday?
He's gone.
He was all set to praise you then as well. He was all set to say how good Rio Dyer was, but he'll be back.
I don't know. Rio Dyer's got a lot of guts and a lot of balls, isn't he? That game against Munster onwards, and to the game against the Ospreys, he just doesn't care. I keep saying that, doesn't he? But he's big, he's fast. When he took the interception, and just the Ospreys winger wasn't catching him, was he? He was gone.
Until you actually see him in the flesh. Until you see him in the flesh, right? You don't appreciate how. I know he looks fast on TV, but when you actually see him in the flesh, you realise how quick he is. He is very bloody quick, and he's strong as well. And he's really good in the air. And Pivac did say this was one of the reasons why he selected him, just how good he is in the air. I think his aerial work has really improved, and his defence as well. I mean, he's not a finished article by any means. Don't get me wrong, but could he start against the All Blacks? I mean, that would be big, wouldn't it? That would be a massive, jump into the deep end. But if there's so many injuries, then, and if you're old enough, you're good enough, then why not? But I do expect him to be involved against Georgia, for sure. Okay. Maybe Argentina. But if he start against the All Blacks, I mean, that'd be huge. That'd be a huge moment for him. But I'm just not sure. It depends on injuries and who's available, really,
No, absolutely. I always get like, I'm not sure what to do against these big sides, isn't it? Would you go for the experience, but you can't have the experience through the side, isn't it? You need that confidence because the problem with experience, isn't it, is they've experienced defeat to the All Blacks again and again, isn't it? You need some players coming through that, like Dyer, that looks at the man in front of him is going, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to absolutely smash you, I'm going to run around you, do you mean? And even if he's wrong, it gives you that edge, doesn't it?
But it is worrying, though, isn't it? The amount of injuries now, the Wales are accumulating. I mean, we don't know what's happening with Josh Adams. We don't know what's happening with George North, Talupe Faletau. I was reading Pivac's comments today. He's giving them an extra week. I mean, if we lose those experienced players, I think we're going to be in deep, deep trouble. I really do, because that's a lot of quality and experience.
You said about
Tipuric,
you're on about
Revel,
Tipuric.
Morgan.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, do you reckon Tipuric could do a good job there? I think he's a bit lightweight, didn't he? He's fast. He's a.
I think Morgan's played a few games number 8 this season. I think Morgan's played a few games. Then you got Revel who could play 6, Tip 7. I think you can mix them up.
I reckon Josh McLeod will feature a date at some point as well. I do think Wales are going to go for a dual open side back row. It's somewhere in the series. I think they're going to see it. And for number 8, I can see like either Josh McLeod or Tipuric or maybe Jack Morgan.
None of us talking about Dan Lydiate. He's done nothing wrong. He had a great tour of South Africa.
Yeah, well. Is he an 8 though? I don't think he's an 8 though. He's not that type of. No, you haven't got credentials for 8 really. If he, he's not going to get you over the game line, is he? I don't think.
I think he's an out 6, isn't he? But he's a lump as well. I mean, and we need to look at our options, don't we? What about Chris Chenza?
Exactly.
But is he going to play lock? Is he going to play lock or back row though? That's the thing. He's been playing 7 for Exeter.
He's been playing 7 for
Exeter.
Who's he?
Exeter.
Thank you.
We're mentioning all these guys. We have options. We've got a lot of options here, I think.
Yeah, but they're not Faletau, are they? If we lose Faletau, that's huge. They might be able to do a job, but they're not Talupe Faletau. And against the All Blacks, you need players like Talupe Faletau and Josh Adams, don't you, and George North. You need those guys.
He's skillful, he's fast, and he's a decision maker, isn't he? He's a package.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is why I think he might opt for Tipuric. Left field, Tipuric number 8.
He said today he can cover the whole back row. Pivac did say that, so maybe we will see Tipuric at 8. Has he played it before for the Ospreys? I don't recall it ever seeing Tipuric at 8. I don't know.
I don't think he has. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to the team selection.
There may be some forced selections, so that's my only concern. I mean, there might be some forced ones where, it'd be interesting for sure.
That's the problem with picking a captain at the minute, isn't it? Because nobody's really assured of their place in the side. Nobody's.
I was shocked. I was shocked when Tips was picked as captain.
I thought it was quite left field.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, leadership-wise, second to none. But it's just goes to show you just don't know what's going on in Pivac's mind and who he's going to pick on the day. Because he's still, he's going to mix it up. He's still looking at the Six Nations. It's going to be boom. This is our team. This is who we're going to the World Cup with. So we'll wait and see.
He's already said that, isn't that? In an interview, he said, "Is this the squad you'll take to the World Cup?" And he just, without hesitation, said no. So I think this is another little bit of looking at players, isn't it?
Yeah. Looking at second and third choice players Sunday, they're looking at who else. I think Pivac knows his strongest 15, but in the autumn now he's just looking at other players to see, what they can do and build the depth. Which I don't mind personally. I think that's the right way to go.
I think when we start to get into Six Nations, then we'll start to see more of the genuine squad then.
Yeah.
And then we got 3 warm-up games, 2 against England, 1 against France, I think it is. Was it Ireland?
France.
I think so. We got 3 warm-up games, and I think that's when it'll start to kind of. We'll see then exactly. I think Moriarty will definitely be back by then, and it'll look a bit set. But then you look at the way we're picking up injuries at the minute, across the board.
Yeah.
Carwin could be in line for a bloody wing spot. By then, you know what I mean?
Well, I tell you what, I've had a letter
Polish your boots, son. Keep them warm.
Yeah, you need to get on a pitch of all that water. Looking forward to it. Anyway, are we moving on to our ginger team?
Have we done predictions? Should we do predictions first?
Yeah, go on.
Predictions, then.
Nobody's overly keen on doing predictions this week.
I don't want to pick my own side now. I want to pick my own side this week.
Ospreys to win because they're going to be bloody hurting from this week.
But they got Connacht, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're going to show their depth, and they're going to come out firing.
At home as well, yeah.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah, I'll go with Ospreys on that as well.
Yeah, I can't bring myself
to
say
Reece, can you not? Can you not, Reece? Can you go for someone else?
Maybe I should be the member of this team that just doesn't make predictions.
I'm going for Connacht on that one just because I couldn't bring myself to predict Osprey. Mind you, I had to last week, but you weren't here, so that was fine. But yeah, I couldn't. I think Connacht will be too much.
No, Ospreys to win for me. I think they need to win now because they've had a very disappointing start, haven't they? Just one win.
Yeah.
You know, when you consider they've had a lot of, they've had their internationals, they've had fully loaded squad for a lot of those games. And just, they should have beaten the Scarlets. They should have beaten the Lions. It's games they should have won. They should have won more than one at this stage. But no, I think they're going to do it. I fancy them at home against Connacht. Ospreys.
Happy days.
Okay, so
happy days.
So just for bringing that up, then, James, I'm going to predict Dragons are going to have a storming game against Zebra. Then Dragons are definitely.
Oh, don't say that. No.
Yeah, because Reece is going to do the same now as well, and that'll really screw you over there.
I am going to predict Dragons.
No word of a lie now. I very rarely predict a Dragons win. I go into every single Dragons game thinking that we're going to lose because 99.9% of the time we do, in fairness, right? But we've got to beat Zebra at home. Now, they have improved Zebra. We got to give them credit. I've seen them a few times, right? They very nearly beat Leinster. They could have beaten the Sharks. They're scoring a lot of points, but they are conceding a lot. So
not a wave,
I've seen also, not a wave, but I've also seen Zebra beat Dragons at Rodney Parade. I was at that game in 2019. So they can win at Rodney Parade. Are they going to have their Italian internationals? I don't know. They may have the Italian internationals with them, I don't know. And we've got call-ups and a couple of injuries. But I think this is a game that we really have to win. You've got to beat Zebra at home, haven't you? That's one game. And no disrespect to Zebra, but if you can't beat them at home, then what's the point? So, yeah, I'm going to predict the Dragons win. But I'm not confident. I won't be surprised to see Zebra turn up and win. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go for a comfortable Dragons win.
Oh, you're screwed, James.
Across the board. Across the board.
I'd like to
just want to upset me now.
You've got too many. You have got you still got your leaders throughout the
we
team.
Still have Moriarty. We'll still have Wainwright and
a good back.
Bradley Roberts. Yeah, I know, but it's just
Lou Dyer.
I'm always a little bit. I never predict us to win games. I'm just not confident enough. I'm really not. I can't. I haven't got that confidence.
But I'd like to be a clean sweep of Welsh wins this weekend. But I don't think the Scarlets got hope in hell of beating Leinster.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. You've been on the happy juice again. Because I tell you what
are you drinking?
That well important.
It is the stuff from the carpet of the pub, isn't it?
No, I think they're having such a hard time. At some point, we're going to pull an unexpected kind of performance out of the bag, and everything's just going to click. And with his blind faith, it is a bit of blind hope that you just hope that it's going to be, Leinster, because Leinster have been vulnerable in a lot of their games. With the Munster game aside, up until then, they've looked vulnerable. They've conceded points. They haven't scored massive amount of points. So, it's not going perfectly for Leinster this year. And I think if we break the game up and if we can kind of just keep taking attack penalties and putting the ball in the right area, I think they're vulnerable. And, I might take a week's supply of Red Oil with me. Just kind of, this will be all right, boys, But yeah, realistically, it's a really, really tough game. But at some point, we're going to turn it on, and I'm just hoping it's against Leinster. So I'm going to go with a Scarlets win, and I don't care. I don't care if you boys just go.
Keep the faith.
Yeah.
He's had a night of dancing. He's feeling good. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well done, darling.
So I'm going to assume that you three are all going to go with a Leinster win.
I have to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to. I have to go with Leinster. Never bet against Leinster, even when they depleted of their Irish international. So, and Scarlets are not really in great form at the moment, are they? So they're not showing me anything to think that they can turn it around at this stage, if I'm being honest. So, sorry, mate. It's going to be
glimpses, but not enough to.
No,
that first try against Connacht was top draw, wasn't it? Like McNichol going through with that dummy and stuff like that. But it's not enough, is it?
Okay,
it'd be massive, mate. If they went, it'd be huge. If they pulled that off, that could kickstart this season.
Well, if we pull that off on Friday, next week's pod, Reese is going to have nothing on. I'm going to have the flags.
I've been
out.
subdued. I've been very well behaved.
Yeah. So, Cardiff and Edinburgh. Then, what's the thoughts on Cardiff, Edinburgh?
Do you want me to start?
Go for it. Go for it.
I'm going to go for Cardiff this week, and I don't want to give them the kiss of death. I honestly don't. Get it, but for these reasons, Edinburgh are playing well, but we're 3 on the bounce. We've had 2 games where we've just really pulled together. It's not just like getting the wins and stuff like that, but the way we've got the wins, it's been like a massive defensive effort. We've had some bad refereeing and overcome it. We've had some young boys. We've had to lose like massive names and still come through with some inexperience in really important positions. Our leaders are, it's not just Turnbull sort of thing. You mentioned Thomas Young is fast becoming, a massive cog in our wheels. I just, if we carry on like we're going and we play the way we did against the Stormers, I can't see any other result at the moment. But I like Jamie. I've said these things before about Cardiff.
It's the hope that kills you.
Take trauma, me and Jamie.
It's always the hope that kills you. But about Cardiff, right? How ironic is this, right? I said this on Twitter the other day. This whole Eggate nonsense, I think it could be the best thing that's happened to Cardiff.
I know.
Because it's galvanised them. Because since then, they're unbeaten. Your scramble defence is very good. It was another cracking win. Yes, puns are intentional, yeah. And, I think...
Saved that up all week.
It didn't get the reception I wanted, I got to be honest. I'm a bit disappointed by that. I had that written down as well. I go for Cardiff win. Confidence is high. You've had some good wins. You're at home. I always said Cardiff are very, very good at home. Edinburgh a good team, but I'm going to go Cardiff. Therefore,
Yeah, I'll second that. I think Cardiff are on a roll. And like I said, winning breeds confidence, and they're full of it. And good luck to them. I think they'll beat Edinburgh in my home city of Cardiff.
Your home city.
Oh, he wants to come on the bandwagon now. It's like enough of Ospreys and not winning. So he wants to jump on the Cardiff bandwagon.
You live in my home village as well.
It doesn't take much to get an Osprey to turn the other way, does it? Yeah, chuck a bit of silver.
Didn't I see one about making it 2 rugby teams in Wales earlier? Did I see a tweet about that somewhere, Lee? Anyway,
you have to go back to the man who emailed you. There's a lot of laughter in this pod, but there's also that underlying "I hate you."
Yeah. So no, just to piss Reese off, I'm going to go for Edinburgh for no other. I'm not going to justify it at all in any other way other than I'm just going to go for Edinburgh just to piss Reese off. So just going.
Fair play, man. Fair play.
Nice one.
Right. So. We'll put some context first, right, behind the Ginger 15, because this morning it came out that Bradley Roberts got called up to the Welsh squad, and I asked a perfectly innocent question of how many Gingers make a decent team, and that was about 9 o'clock this morning, 9:30 this morning. So the rest of the day has been filled on social media and on WhatsApp between ourselves of finding 15 ginger players to make a full squad. And I think we've got it, boys. I think just before we came on air, we actually completed the side. So we'll just run through it and then we'll post it later and just tell us what you think of this. So we've got Reece Carrier, tight or loose? What's number one? Is number one tight or loose?
Loose. Yeah. Number one is loose.
I never used to get involved in that side of it.
You host a rugby pod.
I know, but I never got involved in the front row. That's what the
Scarlets don't really support rugby.
Jesus.
Good
start.
So do we class Reece Carey as a ginger though? He's very light.
He's very ginger. Yeah, ginger.
Yeah.
Is he ginger? You can look it on the telly. He looks very light ginger, but we'll go with ginger.
Oh, no.
He a ginger, is he?
Oh, he's proper Auburn.
He's definitely a ginger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
I don't think we can get away with not putting Bradley Roberts in there because he's like proper orange ginger and the ginger moustache as well. I think the ginger moustache.
It's all about the mullet.
Well, yeah, that kind of.
The mullets come back so much, innit? Like
it's great. I love it, and the tash as well. The mullet and tash is perfect combination. Love him.
Yeah,
great player.
I think
great player.
It's the tash that sets it off for me. It's got the combination of the two, it makes the man. Kitsoff, the Australian guy on the other one. he's a 3. How do you say his name? Is it
South African?
South African. Yeah. That's South African.
Kitsoff.
Yeah.
Kitsoff.
I keep calling it.
So he's on the tight, is he?
Yeah. He is for the purposes of this.
I can say he's not a tight there. Do you know that? I don't know.
Well, it'll be interesting because next week we'll do the Baldies. So we'll have to compare.
Oh, cool.
We'll have to compare the gingers against the Baldies, and then have an imaginary game and see who comes out on top. So
I've asked the listeners to send in a proper tight head ginger.
Yeah, because there's got to be one somewhere. So then
second rows.
We've got a very young Paul O'Connell. Now this went to the TMO when I requested further photographic evidence.
Oh, he's definitely ginger. Yeah,
he's bright ginger. I only remember him being bald, so he could probably play on both sides. He could play on the Baldies next week as well. Then we got Tito in second row. Paul, imagine that as an actual second row. Tito and O'Connell. That would be that'd be fun.
Tito was class. Brilliant. I loved him.
Oh my god, yeah. When we destroyed Gloucester in the English Cup. Oh my god, that was great.
Not only was he ginger, he was a curly ginger.
Yeah.
And a Maori. He'd captained the Maoris. New Zealand Maori.
Excellent foreign signing with Welsh Rugby. That was Tito. Blair, Rush and all that.
Rush, yeah. And that's Xavier Rush. Yeah.
Xavier Rush.
Yeah.
So then at 6 we got we got Jamie Ringer. Now, do we say that he definitely made a Welsh side?
Yes.
I knew he was like age grade.
He had 2 caps for Wales.
Did he? He probably
was brilliant for a while. He was excellent for us anyway.
Yeah, good for the Dragons as well. He was a good player, good club player.
He was a bit of a nutter as well, wasn't he? He was a bit of a psycho around the pitch. Like he got sent off more times than his old man did. So he was a top player. Yeah. Obviously Martin Williams at 7. Now, who did we put at 8?
Dan Baker.
Dan Baker.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
had to be Dan Baker.
Yeah. He's someone that should have gone on and done better as well. But isn't he playing for like Ebervale or something now?
Aberafan, I think, isn't it?
Is it?
He's playing for Aberafan, yeah. The Dragons released him, and he's I think he's playing for Aberafan now.
Yeah, it's a real shame that is because
I like.
Yeah.
Ashley Beck, another prospect for Wales, is playing for Merton now, isn't he?
Yeah. But I think you might find that if the Scarlets centres continue to disappear at the rate that they are, he might get taken.
They might get a recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So scrum half, we've got Finlay Christie from New Zealand. He's that ginger one, obviously.
Yeah.
He's got a
he's
shot.
Scottish,
that's why he's ginger then, isn't it?
He took taken over there when he was about like I don't know 3 or something. But yeah, he's Scottish by birth.
He looks a bit pasty as well, doesn't he? So yeah,
doesn't like being out in the sun.
My battery's going, boys. My battery's going.
Oh dear!
Hurry up! Fly through the backs now. Come on!
Fly through the backs. All right. Jenkins at 10. So we had to put Jenkins at 10 to make room for somebody else at fullback. Crap! Who do we have at 11?
I said Peter Nelson.
Dav Howells.
Is he Ginger Devils? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Is he? No.
Yeah.
No,
I would have gone for Peter Nelson. He is probably.
Yeah, Peter Nelson was the one that we said.
All right. Okay.
Because he's a Canadian, wasn't he? And then there's the Italian guy at inside centre. So that came off someone on Twitter. Gonzalo Gonzalez.
Nice one.
So they've sent me a photo because if I hadn't heard of them, I said, "Oh, you need to send me a photo." So they were just sending me random photos of ginger people, which is quite bizarre. So then we had to put Patchell in at 13 because that's the only kind of like positional change. We had to have Patchell in the team because he is the ginger ninja. So, but we got Thorburn at 15. And when I said to my boy, I said, "We got Paul Thorburn," and he's like, "Who?" Paul Thorburn, longest kick against Scotland.
I had my picture taken with him at my primary school. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I've lost the picture now. Yeah, but he's funny.
I had to do the whole like education stuff about this is how shit it was in the 80s. So we were genuinely taking penalties in our own half in order to win games, and it was just as well we had Thorburn there. So so he's Patchell 13, and then 14 was what's his name?
Matt Cardy at 14, and then so obviously then Thorburn at 15, and then we were lucky enough to find Ben Ryan to coach as well. So we've got a ginger coach. So I stand corrected, boys. There are plenty enough gingers around to make a team, So it was more than a bit of fun today going through those, and I've got my little TMO memes ready to go for next week as well.
So we're doing a bold 15 next week.
Well, it came up with Paul O'Connell, if we were going to put, because originally we were going to have Jake Ball in there, because Jake Ball's got a big ginger beard. But when you look at Jake Ball, he's actually got like dark hair and not a ginger beard, and a ginger beard. It's really weird. It's like he's a cut and shut. So that's when we kind of went, right, okay, well, maybe Paul O'Connell, but he's more of a baldy than a ginger. So yeah, so next week we'll do baldies. So just to prove our stuff as a real serious podcast. that's where we are next week.
You won't get this on Scrum 5, will you? You won't get this on.
This is journalism at its best, boys. Journalism at its best.
This is proper rugby analysis.
Yeah. I got to find a ginger physio somewhere as well. Right. Gents, it's been an absolute pleasure again this week, and a joy to go through the Ginger 15. So I wish you boys all the best. Yeah, the rugby stuff is incidental,
Yeah.
It's there or it's not.
East is best. Let's put it down now.
East is best, 100%. For this weekend, at least. Anyway, wait till the next weekend.
I might stop watching rugby now.
We'll let you have your moment.
We'll lose to Zebra this weekend. We'll balls it up. We'll find a way with the Dragons. So, I'm not confident.
If you lose to Zebra, that single tweet has got to be, "We shit the bed." That's just what it's got to go out as.
Just for you, Lee. That's exactly what it's going to be. Dragons shit the bed. Yet again.
Gents, it's been a pleasure as always. I shall speak to you again next week. Enjoy your rugby, guys. All the best.
Take care, all.
Nice one. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's show. We'd love to have you involved in next week, so you can email your comments to welshregionalrugbypod@gmail.com, or you can message us on Twitter on our handle, WRRA Podcast. And if you like the show, please subscribe and tell your mates. Until next week, dear friends, enjoy your game.
Social Podcast Network.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.